Let's see. 15 seconds in. All right, we are officially live. Welcome to all of you who are joining me this lovely fall afternoon. It is getting mighty chilly over here in Washington, and I am happy for it. It's finally sweater weather, and the leaves are falling. One of my favorite times. This is the pour painting we did last Monday. Everything is set, and dry. So you can tell as I rip it off the grid here. There we go. Everything is good and dry finally. I love that golden metallic pop coming through. Yeah, there we go. Now we can see it. That's a nice little cell action right there. And for those of you who are just now joining the live stream, this was created using a bunch of different paints that I've picked up, all between the dollar store, Michael's, and Walmart, along with colander. This painting was created with our first time using this colander here. That looks kind of cool. And it looks like I need to punch a few holes out, get those unclogged, and we should be able to use this again. It is shiny on the inside, but I don't think the paint is thick enough for me to peel it away just yet. So we'll just have to use it a few more times. And then we can see about healing the paint up. For today's video, I'd really enjoy having some audience participation. This pour painting was made last Monday, where one of my subscribers commented a bunch of different colors, and that's what we did. I'd kind of like to keep that trend going, just because I always get the neatest effects whenever other people recommend colors. Hello, cool kid. It's nice to have you. Elmer, thank you so much for joining. So today I am taking not recommendations. I am looking for colors to use for my next pour painting. So drop it down in the comments what colors you would like to see, and I will start pulling those colors out for us to use. We've got a couple different pouring methods we could do. We can reuse the colander, or we can do double pour with cups, or we can go with the paper tube and get something really unique. What do you guys want to see? Okay, Elmer says blue. Definitely want to see the color blue. All right. What else? Oh yes, and these canvases you can find at your local dollar store. For $1.25, they come in 8x10. There's a few of these flat back ones with the shiny backside, but those I have not been having a good time with. You want to be careful with the flat backed ones due to them warping. This canvas already had a layer of white paint to kind of set as the primer in case the canvas didn't come with primer added to it. And we still got some warping. That's really unfortunate, but I guess not every batch is made equal. Okay, so We have blue. We've got red. Okay. I'd like to do one more color. Blue, red. Pick pink. Do you mean to say pink, Elmer? Okay. Blue, red, and pink it is. I can always add in more colors as we go throughout the pour, or we can just stick with what we've got. So I am going to be reusing this pour cup. This one turned out so cool. It looks like it changed a little bit from last time we used it. It looks a little bit more like a nighttime sky. That's super pretty. Excited to see the colors. Me too. Okay, for the blues, I've got light, medium, and dark blues, and then I've got blue blacks. Or in other words, blues that are so dark, they look black. For pinks, I'd say light to medium shades of pink. You know what? I'll be right back. Let me get a headband on and keep my hair out of my face real quick. There we go. Okay. Get a work from the picture. I have not been able to send any of these out. I honestly would really love to be able to send pour paintings out to the subscribers who chose the colors that they did. I honestly think that would be so much fun. But shipping is outrageous depending on where people are in the world. I mean, the one time I go to ship a really, really lightweight package, it was a horse model. The person who was buying it was only 3 hours away. Shipping alone costed me $40. And I'm sorry. I really would love to do that, but it's just too much. Okay, sorry, back to the pour painting. Since we're adding red, let's go for some dark blues. All right, here we have a home mixed medium dark blue. It does have notes of purple already in it, so it should mix really, really well with the red that we're going to put in. Oop. Alrighty, we got some paint skins. Let's get rid of those real quick. There we go. Oh my wow. Sorry. I don't have enough sleeves to be able to pull out a lot of the paint skins. It's all a work in progress and a very messy one. Okay, let's go in. You know what? I would like to stick with the dark blues. This next one I'm adding in is they're paints that you can find at the dollar store. It's deep blue plus phthalo blue and water. This is more of a natural blue rather than a purple-based blue, but seeing as how it's from the dollar store, added water to it. The consistency is a lot nicer to work with. As weird as it sounds, because you don't think paint from the dollar store would be nice to work with. Next, going in, another dollar store favorite, Scarlet Red plus water. And this is what, so when you go shopping for paint and you stop by the dollar store, this is one bottle that you might see. That's the brands that I typically go for. I definitely recommend adding water to it, otherwise it's just a little too thick for pouring. So next goes in the red. And also with the dollar store paint, I have had little to no issues with paint skins. I don't know what it is about the formula, but I don't ever get a whole lot, which is awesome. Next, let's add in our pink. Can we colors? I don't have any coloring book pages. As cool as that would be to like do a pour painting over a current coloring book page. I've seen some artists do that, but I unfortunately don't have anything like that. Whoops, let's get that out of the way. So the pink I'm adding in is a homemade or home mixed color that I've named Pony Nose Pink. It's got bits of gold in there, so it should come out to a nice champagne pink. As long as I don't get a whole bunch of paint skins in there. And I feel like we need to add one more thing. So I'm gonna add, I don't know if this is considered red or if it's pink. Definitely not magenta. On camera, it is looking a little bit more orangey, but I promise it's more pink than this. Oop. And we got some spillage. That's okay, it's all gonna get covered up. Just a smidgen. Do we want to add any other colors to this cup? Or do we want to go with what we have right now? There's just one little bit of paint skin that does not want to come out. Or orange. I'm not sure what color ORE is. There we go. Now we got the paint skin out of the way. Well, let's get a closer look and see what we have currently. Not too much happening or going on, but I'm sure that'll change as we start pouring. Okay, we have a decent amount in the cup already. So let's take a look at our pouring options. Can go with the colander. Oh, orange. Okay, okay. Sorry, it took me a little while. You know what? Since we have such a bright contrast of colors in there, I'm going to go for a lighter color orange. This is another home mixed orange. It's got more yellow in it, but it's also super duper light and liquidy, which means we'll get some, yeah, there we go. Already got some reactions happening. Let's take a closer look. Ooh, we got some green happening. Okay. Got some cells forming. That looks nice. Okay, pouring options. Can use the colander. We can just do a straight pour, or we can use a paper tube. Which do you want to see? I do have a larger size paper tube available because that one's going to be too itty bitty. Okay. Can do straight pour, paper tube, or the colander. Or red bowl. I'll just call it the red bowl. All right. Red bowl it is. So we'll make sure that's in the center. And get any fur out of the way. All right, here we go. One last look inside the cup. It's already had some changes happen. Got some more cells in the center. I am excited. Here we go. Turn it around a little bit so that way the blue can distribute a little bit more. Ooh, and then we've got all blue right in the center. That looks cool. Sorry, I promise I'll move the cup here in just a second. So want to make sure it all gets in. Alrighty. Here's what it looks like. And now we just need time for the paint to get pushed out towards the bottom. And what we did with the previous pour painting was I did add some extra paint around the edges just to kind of help push everything out. So let's go back in with the Scarlet and kind of push that around a bit more. Oh, did we get a paint skin? We did. First time that's happened. Man, what is it about red and blue that just looks so cool and dynamic? I will never know. Okay, we'll go in with another little bit of this medium blue. Sides are looking nice. Paint is seeping out the sides. I know it's hard to tell right now, but it's definitely working. Okay, let's brighten everything up. The orange. Add back in some of that pink because I feel like we lost it. Ooh, okay. There we go. It's night. Okay. Well, this video will come out tomorrow morning, and it will, although it'll probably be the day after for you, Elmer, or possibly later in that evening tomorrow. I'm on Pacific Standard Time, so it sounds like you're a day ahead of us. This video will be out the following day. So check it out, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or check out my Instagram. It's the same as my YouTube name here, and you can see the results posted there. You have to go to school? Okay, well, check out the Instagram definitely, and keep an eye out for when I post update pictures. But if you want to stick around for another 5 minutes, I think this is ready to lift up. So let me move some things aside, and we'll see what we've got. Here we go. Gonna do very gently up. That looks cool. And reveal. Whoa! Dude! That looks nice. Okay, let's move it around a little bit. Nice color choices. Pop the bubble. There we go. There is a lot going on over here. I really like the splash of blue in the center, and I'd really like to keep that. So let's just move this around a little bit more. Hopefully we don't lose it. The orange seems to really be taken over with how liquidy it is. It's kind of expected with that level of consistency. But I really like how this is turning out. Promise I'll get it in frame here in just a second. There we go. Nice. Okay, what you guys are seeing here on camera, there is way more blue, way more bright blue than there appears. If anything, this has taken on more of a purple hue. It's gonna look different in the pictures than what it is currently. Make sure we get those edges taken care of. Excuse me. And we will let that drip for a minute, just to make sure it doesn't get over everything else. Pop some bubbles. There we go. And we will take a look here in just a moment. Move the bowl to the side. For those of you who are joining me from last week, last Monday, I have a video in production that goes over how to make your own pour painting tub to make it so you are not only mobile, but it allows you to keep your mess in one location, which is ideal when you work inside especially now that the weather is cooling down and the wind is picking up. I'm not really able to do this outside. So it's going to have to be indoors. That's a neat little spot right there. Got a bunch of wild colors here. This is nice. So yeah, everything's a lot warmer in person than what you're seeing here on camera. Ooh, that kind of looks like a nebula right there. Very nice. This one's going to be fun to take pictures of. All right. Let's see, we are 26 minutes in. Right on. Just for the heck of it, I would like to do one more pour painting. Set this one aside to dry. And break out a brand new canvas. Oops. Here we go. Oh, welcome back, Elmer. Since you are in school or have school, I don't recommend staying up for too long. But we're just going to do one last pour painting. So I found this is something for canning. It's a little silicone thing that you set your jars on top of to keep from burning or scalding, I guess. But I'm going to use this to pour the paint over. And hopefully the paint will run into these channels and kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but like I saw this and I immediately had to get it. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be great. So let's do this one. I'm going to get a brand new cup for this pour painting. And I kind of feel like we should keep these colors somewhere in the purple family. I really, really love jewel tones. So that's shades of purple, dark blue, coral, and orange. So I'd really like to try and get something like that. Let's move this aside real quick. Okay. In goes our first shade of purple. Why do I feel like there's a bunch of paint skins in that? Okay, and then I would like for it to be a little bit more on the moody side. So let's go with the dark blue, black, storm cloud gray. I think I'll just call this one Storm Cloud. It's another home mixed color. We've got a little bit of gold metallic paint in there. This is mostly blue and mostly black, but it just looks so stormy. So this will be Storm Cloud Gray. I don't really get to use this one too much. It really likes to take over, so I just got to be careful with it. So I'd rather not have this purple turn gray, like gray, purple, purple gray. Okay, let's go in with deep blue and phthalo blue. Used that in our previous pour painting. Just a good amount of that. And then let's return with a pinky purple. Pinky purple is more like a royal purple, also with the gold metallic in it. You can see it right there. I love me the gold metallics. They always add such a unique effect to pour paintings too. Whoop, we don't want that. Yeah, that'll brighten it up. As long as I don't have the paint skins in there. Sorry, a good third of this video is probably just gonna be me taking the paint away to pull out the paint skins. Oh my wow. Again? Oh, come on. I don't want to lose like a third of my paint just trying to make sure I got all the paint skins out. Okay, so we've got 2 variations of purple, a good amount of blue. Now we need an orange. Let's go with carrot orange. Keep things on the lighter side. So this orange, again, another yellow-based orange, as in it's got more yellow than red in there. It's got some nice gold metallics in this one as well. I don't want to go with hunter orange. I just feel like it's going to end up being a little too bright. Okay, and typically red can be a part of the jewel tone family, just because it shares similarities with the purples and the orange. So we're just going to add a little bit, not too much. And then let's return with the deep and phthalo blue. Finish it off with some Pony Nose pink. The one thing I don't want to have happen though is to have that blue and the orange mix. Since it's a yellow-based orange, we will end up getting green. And green is definitely not in the jewel tone family. All right, now that we've got our colors, let's see what happens. There we go. Make sure this is centered all right. And I know I'm going to lose this design once I start pouring, but we'll see what happens. Today is an experiment. So let's get this pink in the center. A little bit of blue, and then we'll just go in a circle. This might look really neat. Okay, there we go. Looks like we're losing a good amount of that orange. Let's take... Where did my colors go? I was just using them. You know what? If we're gonna lose a little bit or a good amount of that orange, or it's gonna turn green, I don't think I'll fret too much, and we'll just put it on the sides here. So that way it kind of has something to pull the blue down. So if it's gonna turn green anyway, then it's like, at least let's have it run off and pull everything with it. Because once gravity gets to doing its job, it's just gonna, the picture in the center is gonna expand. And that's more or less what I want. Let's fill in some of these gaps. So a little bit right along the edges. Yeah, okay. Let's just do a little squiggles here. So I do really like this orange, and I'd hate to just pour off a lot of good paint if I can avoid it. I'm already having to pull out so much for the paint skins. Because of the paint skins, excuse me. Oh my wow. Okay. That purple's done. There's just too many paint skins with this one. I think I might retitle this video Struggling with Paint Skins. There we go. That's better. I'd rather use a color I have kind of an abundance of if I'm going to lose a lot of it. And you know what? One of those colors is also Stormcloud Gray. This does look super pretty though. So let's just go crazy. All right. Now that we have everything set up, let's do a little bit of tilting, kind of get things started. Once everything reaches the edge, then we will take this off and we will let the paint settle and see what we get. So while already in the flower, the paint's going to go ahead and start moving. That is fine with me. Gives the chance for paint cells to happen. Stay on the canvas, please. Oh no, it's moving entirely. Okay, well perhaps it won't move so much if we were to do this on a wet canvas. If it's gonna move, let's just lift this up. There we go. And we will set this in the colander bowl to dry. It's not looking at all what I thought. Very interesting though. I do like the orange. Perhaps next time if I was to do this color combination again, I will do more orange because that came out. I really like the orange. So let's see if I can't just pull some of it down. Okay, well, not at all what I thought we'd get, but this is why I love doing these live streams. You never know exactly what's going to happen. There we go, cover the corners. And each new piece is always a mystery. Alrighty. We are 41 minutes in. That's typically the time where I stop doing the live streams. The dog wants to go out. Let me bring you guys over to our first pour painting, just so we can see if anything has changed. Here we go. Got to keep it in this tray. Looks like we got some new cells forming. That's nice. And again, everything is still brighter in person than it is, or brighter on camera than it is in person. Focus. There we go. All right. All in all, pretty nice. And this was the last one we worked on. Let me just make sure I'm not leaving paint everywhere. Well, I feel like we learned some things today. I've got a little bit of cleanup to do. So I will see you guys next Monday. Make sure to check out my Instagram account. Same as my YouTube channel name, Savvy Craftings. I have the same icon for both accounts. You can see what I've got going on or when I'm about to go live, as well as close-up pictures of the paintings that we do on these live streams. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel so that way I get some interaction and engagement, and you will be notified for when I do go live or when I have videos on the way. I will see you guys next Monday, 2 o'clock. Bye for now.